Good morning, good afternoon, good evening around the world. My name is Doug Brunke. I'm the founder and CEO of Global Chamber. We are all about connections and strategic connections, and I'd say we're good at it. I like to think that we're great at it, and we're getting greater and better. We're putting a system called Globi, a little character named Globi, AI-based system that's already been established. We've already built it, and we're rolling it out to our own internal team. I did actually see Globy today, I think for the first time. I don't know if that's the real Globy or not, but I thought it was pretty cool. And the overall idea is cool to use artificial intelligence to help us do our work better. There's nothing complicated about that, right? It's everybody's doing it. What is a little complicated is that to understand who someone wants to meet and connect them to the right person. It's not just a member database that we typically use, but we use all the other people that we know. And we also recognize that, you know, some people may want to meet a certain person and they don't necessarily want to be introduced to people. So there's a human element that needs to be introduced into that. So that's certainly one of the aspects of what we're going to be doing today. Jem and I think Cesar is here, right? Is Cesar here? Yeah, Cesar. Cesar's here and taking notes to be able to during your presentations. We've got 5 or 6 members who are giving presentations today, and the goal is they'll be presenting an opportunity for members. Hopefully, all of you will be listening to what they're saying and coming up with either your own interest and getting more information or have ideas. And so, for all of the presenters today, you have the guidelines 7, 8 minute presentation, and then 2 to 3 minutes for Q&A. I recommend you use less than 7 minutes on your presentation so that we have some conversation and people can give advice and give some thoughts. You can also all use the chat area. And because we don't have a lot of time for Q&A, please do use the chat area for ideas that you might have. And if you do have like an idea that you don't want public to some person, then just send us a text, send it in the chat area. Just designate that you've got something, and we'll make sure that some introduction happens. Let's start the program. We do have, like I said, 5 or 6 people. Let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5, but then there's usually people that I'll also reach out to in the audience. So don't fall asleep. Don't. I may reach out to you and just say hi and be ready just to say, what you're doing and who you're looking for, and kind of the 30-second kind of a quickie regarding that. But there are 5 speakers, and I'd like to start with Marcos Garcia Acosta. He's a really cool, dedicated professional leader. He's been in the semiconductor industry. He's an attorney. I don't know how he finds time to do all the things that he does. He's so helpful. He's very servant oriented. He helps people very much like Mike Patterson in the sense of he's got a sensibility to be, on the one hand, really capable, and on the other hand, very helpful for people. So if you do anything in semiconductor or do anything between US and Mexico, he's someone you should know. I don't know, Marcos, what opportunity you're providing today, and I'm going to be learning with everybody else. It's 4:07. If you'd start right now, please go ahead.
Okay, so let me share my screen quickly. And
Well, take your time, but just keep it to 6 or 7 minutes, hopefully, for the presentation.
yeah, I don't have a lot of stuff in here. So please confirm you see my screen that
I
I'm
see
sharing.
some handsome guys, so that can't be your presentation, can it?
Yeah, that's me.
Ah,
That's
wow.
my
Fantastic.
so hopefully it's coming up.
It looks beautiful.
Okay. So this is me, Marcos. I'm an attorney. I'm also an engineer. And as Doug mentioned, I'm an engineer. I was trained as an engineer, then became an attorney and work pretty much all my life in high technology. Started in printed circuit boards and then moved into semiconductor for almost 20 years. I'm an attorney. I'm also a patent attorney. I do have some specialty in the area of intellectual property, multilingual, mainly Spanish, English, but I can get myself in trouble in a few other languages. I understand we probably have some audience from Asia, so you know, I can get myself in trouble in a few Asian languages. One of the focus we have, and it's not exclusive, but it is just because of the strategic location for where we are. Myself and Global Chamber started here in Phoenix, and that's a proximity to Mexico, Latin America, a large number of Latino, Spanish-speaking business people here in Arizona and the United States. And basically, our goal is to help people realize their American dream, wherever they are. We know that the last few weeks or couple of months have been a little bit challenging with without getting too much into politics, but those are basically the opportunities that you can look into how to navigate those things, especially from the legal and business perspective, but as well from the strategic perspective. These are some of the services we provide for all for all our clients. Again, our main focus is on the business side. Not so much for the purpose of the business, but for the entrepreneur, the individual. So especially when we're working with the small, medium-sized businesses, you start it for yourself. In many cases, it starts as an alternative to having a day job. Um, so the business is you basically. So we try to provide as much of the services and support that those individuals need. Obviously, business is an important aspect of that because that's how you're making money and you're paying your bills and everything associated with that, such as contract litigation, protections, etc. But then there are other aspects to that for personal protection, and that covers yourself, your family, obviously related to the business and also for other personal assets or interests. And being an immigrant myself, we do have a pretty good understanding and we're able to help people with different aspects of immigration. So that is basically what we do. You can go to marcos-law.com. And one of the things that we are seeing, and everybody in this call and pretty much on any call related to business, they're trying to figure out, okay, what do we do now? And how are we going to continue doing business among ourselves and with the United States? And so here we are, trying to help you and offering you the resources, including Global Chamber, obviously, to help you navigate this environment. And this is probably not the moment to walk away from, doing business with and in the United States. Obviously, it will depend on on the type of venture that you have. There are a lot of opportunities. There is a shift. I don't want to say completely it is away from China or Asia, but there's going to be a reordering of priorities and commercial flows. So you need to understand that and see, okay, what is that going to mean if I want or if I was doing business in the United States? Everybody has heard about nearshoring, and we do have, and also in Global Chamber, we do, they have a lot of resources and contacts related to Mexico and other places in Latin America for the proverbial nearshoring. We do believe, based on everything that is going on in the last 3 months, God knows what's going to happen on Monday. Tomorrow is a holiday. But Mexico is going to be one of the least impacted as far as all the countries that are going through all these realignment of priorities and commercial relationships with the United States. So here we are, open and available to help you. And this is an opportunity. They said when there's blood in the streets is the moment where you want to go in and buy. So, we help people with the basics for the business. And then depending on where you are, where you want to be, we can engage in some other support for you. And again, we are looking for opportunities to work with people around the world. Also companies here in the United States, small, medium size, and that they have some need for some of the specific legal services. And also, trying to help you understand what is the best formula and pivoting if necessary to do business in this environment, especially if you're bringing anything from outside the country, from outside the United States. There is a lot of things that you need to look at, but also if you're just starting, and if you're just starting, or if you do have products or services or products that incorporate services, we can work on your strategy to try to minimize your exposure or the impact that is going on with you. We see that there's now talk about services with all the tariffs that are coming up. And interestingly enough, the United States has a super surplus with the world as it comes to services. So the politicians are always talking about one side of the coin, but they don't want to talk about the other. So that is an opportunity for people outside the United States to still have a piece of the action here in the United States. And
So we're
next,
we're just about at 10 minutes. So I'd like to do another question. Are you close to the
yeah,
end?
yeah, this is the end. I'll be doing next week. I'll be in Guadalajara. If there's anybody doing anything there, we'll be happy to talk to you. We're going to be presenting at one of the technology events in Mexico. And, if there's anything you need with respect to Mexico, of the different services, we're happy to connect you on anything you want to do here in America.
I think Marcos, being an engineer, undersells what his connectivity is in the semiconductor industry. I've known Marcos now for a number of years, and we have these Global Chamber Semiconductor Summits. We've done 4 of them, and he's been a key player in all of them. Also, I recognize when we had a trade mission from Argentina, from the Tierra del Fuego part of Argentina to the US, Marcos was part of that, and he was able to get us into places that were very difficult to get into. And so his connectivity and his knowledge, I think, is way understated, by his approach, just because he's an engineer. And so if you're in that technical field, advanced manufacturing, US, Mexico, advanced manufacturing, he's definitely a contact you need to have. So, Marcos,
Thank
any
you, sir.
final comment?
No, I just want to thank you. And one thing I want to say, and I don't want to make these, you know, uh, kissing up to you, but you definitely are an inspiration for what you're doing. And you personally are the main reason I belong to this organization. There's a lot of benefit being there, but without the inspiration for a number of reasons, I won't go into that right now. We want to be part of whatever Doug is doing, basically.
It must be an engineer thing. How many
Yeah, you're an engineer too, buddy.
how how
So
many engineers are you? Which engineer are you, by the way?
electronics, you are chemical, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad was an electronics engineer, so I can relate to that. He worked on the U-2 spy plane. He was brilliant. I'm just a guy. So, but you're brilliant, and so thank you for your observations. I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Let's keep moving around the room,
Thank you, sir.
please.
Hey,
Marcos, put your. Oh,
hey,
is there?
Doug. This is Pankaj. Already I met Marco on the Global Chamber Semicon. Marco,
Uh-huh.
check your emails. I don't want to waste time. We'll talk offline.
Okay. Yeah, I think you guys might have met at the Semiconductor Summit, right, or not? Maybe not.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
We met all the people on semiconductor. There are tons of people there, so it was my great. But hopefully, we are coming again.
Okay, great. The League of Opportunities that we're doing part one today, part two tomorrow. The reason why we do this one is that it's morning in Asia. It's still a little bit tricky, but we did our next speaker, Samuel Liam of Hyperx. It's a little bit early in Singapore, but thankfully he's up. Samuel, thank you for joining today. Thank you for joining Global Chamber. You've got a completely different application from what we're talking about here with semiconductor. Please go ahead, share with us what you've got, and let's see what how we can help.
Yes, Doug, thank you for inviting me here. Yeah, it's a bit early. Yeah, right now it's 7 a.m. here in Singapore. So yeah, it's okay. So thankfully it's a holiday today. So yeah, it's okay. So okay, hi everyone. So I'm Sam. So founder of Hyperx, a digital loyalty app based in Singapore. So it's built to help businesses around the world grow by rewarding their customers easily and effectively. And also, I run Line Design, a software studio, focuses on helping business build apps and digital tools that actually solve real problems. So, yeah. So, I just want to talk about the trends right now about customer loyalty. So, um, customer loyalty is no longer about earning points or just about transactions. It's about experience. So globally, we're seeing a shift towards mobile first rewards. So, if, for example, the Starbucks, Tim Hortons, as you can see, they have their own app, right, for earning points and doing orderings. So based on the studies, 81% of consumers say loyalty programs influence their buying behavior. So, but most of small businesses still use manual system like physical cards, stamp cards that are get have some cost in the long term because you need to print it, and in reality, sometimes we forgot to bring them, right. So also, we're not able to use it anyways. So there's a clear opportunity to modernize how they connect with their customers. So that's why we created Hyperx. So basically, Hyperx offering is you will have your own app like the Starbucks, but it will be much easier to set up, much less cost for the business. And for Hyperx is a digital loyalty app that lets business give rewards using just their phone. So just your phone, no need some complicated setup, no need for additional hardwares, just easy point tracking and rewards. Plus features like effortless QR code transactions, pre-ordering with the point automation, real-time analytics, push notification marketing, customize a store page, and personalize digital cards. So as you can see here, you can customize your membership cards and then your store page also. So as you can see here, the colors are depends on your brand. You can customize. Then yeah. So for connection, I love to connect with the chamber members working with F&B, retail or service businesses that are needing some loyalty programs, something like that. And agencies also, consultants who want to offer loyalty program as a service. And also for now, we're looking for investors and partners interested supporting Hyperx as we scale right now. Because right now, the platform is fully bootstrapped by me, so it's financed by me. And we're exploring for more strategic growth opportunities, so more like marketing activities and some improvements to the app. Yeah. So also, if you want to try a Hyperx, we're offering right now a 1 month free trial for business. So with full onboarding support, so we can assist you to set ups, and if you have inquiries, we can assist you also. So yeah, that's all. Do you have any questions? Yeah.
Thank you, and thank you for keeping to the time. That was perfect. One quick question, and then I'm going to open it up to the floor. Just either raise your hand or unmute yourself to ask questions. Which countries are you targeting? And you mentioned about retail, are there particular retail focus points that you have?
Yes, so for the country, we can cater anywhere in the world. So it is available anywhere in the world. But right now, most of our clients are in the Asia, so in the Philippines, Singapore, and there's one in Canada. So yeah, so we can cater anywhere in the world. Yeah.
Okay, very good. And are you finding certain applications are better than others? Certain retail stores, high volume, big products, small products? Anything else that you found so far?
Yes, so far the most business types we are having is cafes and some salons and barber shops.
Okay.
So yeah, so because the loyalty programs are more like useful for them, but Hyperx can adapt to any business you may think of. If you need some loyalty program to your business, we can start with that. Yeah.
Okay, very good. And what questions do people have? Anthony, are you unmuted to ask a question or just getting ready? While we're waiting for a question, Shupto is in the call. And Shupto, where are you today? Are you in Sacramento? He's got an expertise on developing CFO capabilities within companies. You're amazing. Do you have any thoughts or questions about what you're seeing here? Have you run into anything like this before? And what would you like to share?
I'm sorry, Doug. One more time. I didn't hear you.
Is there anything that you have a question on what you've just seen from us?
No, actually, I want to tell Sam, it's a great product. I mean, I see a lot of how, like, Hyperx, a lot of product over here and needs, and especially in the business. I'm about to pick up a client in LA who are in the technology space, who built up a technology but don't have an app. So, but what I wanted to tell you, like there's a lot of rules and regulation regarding this, especially when these apps are working with the banking industry. I mean, Doug, you probably know Phil is a great resource in terms of credit card because these are all based on the credit card processing and banking. And I know Phil, he's not here today, but I think I forgot his last name. But
Philip Henry.
yeah, he has that. I mean, he's the one who I think was able to set up X. What is the bank I think that we are opening? Altos Bank.
Altos Bank.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, no.
Yeah. So you probably should connect Sam with Phil.
Yep.
Because if you want to come into the market, in US market, there's lots of regulations, especially with this government, lots of regulations, banking rules and stuff. And I know Phil's product that's what they do, and it's basically go through all the SaaS system and stuff like that. So that would be a great tools for you. So as
Brilliant.
Doug said, I have an accounting service, full accounting service firm. We help all the clients, all those international clients with all those tariffs situation now these days, but all those sourcing, financing, all of the stuff. I'll keep it short, Doug. I know you have time limit, or you want me to go a little bit more.
No, I think we need to keep moving. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah, definitely. You're a great resource, and thank you for joining today. And that brilliant idea around Phil, and I forgot about him with Altos Bank. So he had slipped off my mind there. So I'll circle back with him on that.
Yep.
Altos Bank is a new bank in California started by Dr. Sanjeev Kagraman, of just a brilliant group of people with the intent of building a better Silicon Valley bank. And it's launched. They've raised $30 million with Global Chambers doing an event. It's now May 12th. So the date has changed a bit, but it's May 12th. And so, Shupto, maybe we get to
Yep.
see you if that works in your schedule.
Definitely, I'll make that happen. Are you coming to
Yes,
San Fran?
yeah, I'll be there.
Okay. So I'll definitely put it in my calendar.
Okay. So thank you, Sam. Great presentation, and we're going to keep moving, but Phil is a great connection for you. And if anybody else has ideas or thoughts for Sam or questions, please reach out. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity to present our product. Yeah.
Thank you. Anthony DeFilippis with Cargo Trans is right in the middle of it. Boy, Anthony, I don't envy what you're going through right now with all the different changes. Hopefully you're handling your mental health well. Tell us what opportunity do you have here for us today, and how can we help?
Sure, yeah, no worries, and thank you all for having me. Yeah, no, it's definitely an interesting time, and to be honest, I feel more so for our customers. They're the ones who are really having to deal with this head on. So I'm talking to people every day, all day about their businesses, because many are at a total standstill. But quickly, I'll just give you a quick introduction of myself. Anthony DeFilippis, I'm co-CEO of Cargo Trans, and we've been making the world smaller for the last 36 years. Since 1989, we are an end-to-end supply chain logistics manager. So think international freight forwarding, domestic freight forwarding, so that's air, ocean, LTL, truckload. We are licensed customs brokers as well. And also 3PL fulfillment warehousing services, mostly focused on import, but we also support export transactions. Main businesses are going to be Asia and Europe, imported to the US, but we do a lot of cross trade as well. As you can imagine, I think one of the questions or the prompts was, what's shifting in your industry? And I struggle to think about what isn't shifting in our industry, because it's this new world order of trade that's or at least they're trying to reconfigure. So we're seeing it from all angles, so diversification in terms of suppliers and trade lanes and where people are sourcing from. This has been changing for quite some time, since the first Trump administration, but I would say you definitely now there are people that are in some ways feel like they didn't have a choice, or they were waiting because they just didn't expect the tariffs to get as high as they are, especially out of China. So you're seeing a lot of people sort of scramble or trying to really just retool and re-engineer their revenue model overnight. I am seeing a shift towards customs brokerage in our industry, in the logistics space, and by that I mean really valuable customs brokerage partners and customs brokers that are not just transactional. People who are subject matter experts, who have been in the industry for many years, and can really help customers be strategic, because as challenging as it may be right now, there are things that importers can do, and that if anyone is touching product they should be talking to a customs broker, or multiple for that matter, if they feel like they're not getting enough from their current provider. There are many strategies that people can employ. It really, there is no one size fits all. But what I will caution is people on is, I'm hearing a lot of, oh, my supplier is going to take care of it. In China, they're going to send a DDP, we're changing the Incoterms. And I just caution people on that, because even though you're not the importer of record any longer, you're still going to be liable. Customs and Border Protection will trying to find who is the consignee and who is manipulating these costs. So I just really, again, caution. I get that there are businesses that are in dire need and feel like they have nowhere else to go. But I just caution that, the administration is looking for bad actors, and I can tell you, I think they're going to take a really hard stance on that. AI is also reshaping this industry very quickly. We're seeing lots of opportunities there. We actually just, last week, we were building a tariff agent. Today, we just launched a live tariff calculator as part of our visibility tool called Captain, because we just see that the need for customers to be able to quickly understand what their duty rates are, because they're constantly shifting right now. Obviously, we have geopolitical issues, and obviously we have the trade war, but then we still have the Red Sea conflict in the Middle East that's causing even further delays. So, I always say this business is not for the faint of heart. There's always a challenge, and just when you think things are going smoothly, there's a climate issue, or it used to just be bad snowstorms, but now, last year we had a drought in the Panama Canal, and that created issues and bottlenecks. These days, there's labor disputes all over the globe, from ports in India to Northern Europe. So again, I look at the industry and I look at all of the areas of or the impact areas. At every area, there's something happening, it seems. So it'll be definitely interesting to see what unfolds over the next 30, 60, 90 days. For those of you that are on camera, I'm just curious, maybe a show of hands, like how many of you are in businesses or know businesses that are impacted by tariffs? Thank you. Yeah. I honestly struggle to think of any industry that's totally immune to it. I think the trickle-down effects are real. The world is so intertwined. I'll tell you a quick story, not to take up too much time, but we have a customer in Turkey that buys certain types of oak from the U.S. And because of a retaliatory tariff in China for another type of oak, the customer in Turkey can no longer get the oak that they need, because no one is cutting down those trees any longer for the oak that goes to China. And because of that, they're not going to cut down the tree just to kind of get the low-grade oak that they were sending to Turkey. So it's quite complex what's going on. It really is having impacts all over the globe. What else can I share? I would say right now, the most important topic that we are covering is just duty and tariff mitigation. That's all we talk about all day long for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So I encourage you all, and we're offering a free 30-minute consult with our compliance team. So if anybody would like a consultation or wants to learn more about different strategies, you can drop me a note in the chat. I'm happy to set up a call at some point next week. But this is definitely a time that I encourage everyone to come together for with community like the Global Chamber, other business communities, because this is a time to for innovation, to pivot, to retool and rethink. And I think we need those diverse perspectives.
Sounds good.
Marcos's question. I see Marcos's question in the chat. Absolutely. I've heard many different things. We have clients that have just completely put all orders on hold, especially at the lower end, lower margin product. Those are the ones I think that are really feeling the most impact, because that stock that's $1.50 at $3.50, it doesn't really make sense. On the higher end of product out of China, I'm hearing that people are trying to make it work and figure things out, where people are buyers are eating a bit. There's going to be price increases. But I have heard a lot of major big box retailers have just canceled POs as well. And insights with impacts with Mexico. It's interesting because, if you remember back to December, before this administration even came in, that's when we started kind of seeing things happen with Mexico and tariffs, and even they sort of started that they repealed the tariff loophole in Mexico, where you could bring goods into Mexico, not pay any duty, and essentially fulfill orders into the U.S. And then we obviously had the tariffs that the administration had placed against Canada and Mexico earlier on that sort of came off, and there still are some tariffs there. But I still do think I'm pretty bullish on Mexico. I think that they stand to win here for sure. But I still think at the end of the day, it's going to be challenging. I mean, Mexico is a great country, but it's still small relative to how big China is. And every country has its nuances. Look at India. You can look at there's lots of different options. But China's been doing this for 8 decades, and they're very good at it.
Thank you. Tom, you dropped in for a second there, and value supply chain is what you do. Did you have any comments?
Yeah, just wanted to emphasize the craziness that's happening right now everywhere. And right now, the best thing that companies can do is to really take a step back and breathe. And then focus on really risk mitigation and take it slow, commodity by commodity, come up with the new strategy that's going to work in the future. Now is not the time to just, act on emotion, because ultimately it's going to hurt you in the long run. So, anybody, that Anthony, that you're seeing that needs to take a step back and really look at their sourcing strategies across their entire product line, we would love to team up and help them.
Yeah. What's your
Thanks,
company, Tom?
So my company is Value Chain Dynamics, and we named it. It's actually split off from another company. We named it that way, knowing that this was all happening. We wanted to emphasize the value chain versus just the supply chain. So we're supply chain consultants. We're also heavily involved in the AI piece of it with predictive analytics and things. So we're utilizing that in those models to be able to have really projections with really trying to predict the future and look at the segmentation within each of the company's product lines.
Thanks for sharing. Thank you very much, Anthony, for the presentation. Please leave your information in the chat area. Are you going to be at the Port Authority, New York, New Jersey Port Authority tour in a week?
I won't be there. I'm traveling, but members of my team will definitely be there.
Okay, great.
Can I ask Tom a quick question, or if you have to move on, that's fine. I can reach out to him after.
Quick question. By the way, is tariff a noun or a verb?
It's just the most beautiful word in the dictionary. Does it matter?
Maybe you have your question?
Yeah, Tom, really quick. Just curious, what size of companies do you typically deal with for sourcing?
We really, the sweet spot would be anywhere between 40 and 400 million. I've done a lot of work in China, Vietnam, and other places within Asia, so very familiar with it. I've helped a lot of companies reconsider, what does the best sourcing strategy really, what is it? And it might not be pulling completely out of China. It may be just doing it as a second source and doing it as a percentage, because there's awful a lot of infrastructure that's still over in China, like the machines to make shoes. Making shoes over here is very difficult because you have to get the machines from China. So we recommend, just taking it slow and really thinking through it. But Anthony, I would love to reach out to you and possibly set up a call, just connect if that's okay.
Yeah, for sure. Please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Manabu Sasaki is in your area as well. And Sasaki-san, I don't know whether you can just say hi, but is anything that you're hearing here resonating relative to some of the things you're seeing?
Yes. Obviously, we are a trading firm. So trading meaning exports, imports. So the tariffs are obviously affecting us. And we do have a logistic company subsidiary here in the US called Itochu Logistics as well. But that's more US oriented. But yes, like anyone else, there's a lot of impact. A negative impact on what's going on with the tariffs.
Not a good situation at all. Itochu, as all of you know, is just a very significant trading company, and Sasaki-san's based in New York. Thank you very much for sharing. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's now go to Juan Kerr of Alliance Contact Center. So kind of changing a little bit to our conversation. Juan, thank you for being here. What would you like to share? What opportunity do you have?
Thank you. Thank you for having me here, and it's a pleasure to connect with everybody. I'm going to share my screen just to walk through briefly on who we are and what we do. But we are essentially a contact center or a business process outsourcing provider. We're nearshore. Can everybody see my screen, by the way?
We can, yeah.
Okay, perfect. We are nearshore located. We're in Hermosillo, Sonora, just close to the border with Arizona and California. And we are a service provider for small to mid-sized businesses in the United States. There are anywhere between $2 million and $50+ million a year in revenue. Our job is to become an extension of our client's business to handle all their direct-to-consumer interactions, whether it's sales, customer care, back office, loyalty, retention, even prospect qualification. That's what we do for them. So this is actually a real picture of our office and our team. And we work with a number of clients and companies in the US from different verticals. Quick examples will be e-commerce companies that sell direct to consumer. One of them, for example, is a cosmetics company. And we are the team from their business that handles all customer care inquiries. If people wants to reach out and cancel an order or request an inquiry about their order status or anything related to their purchase, we are the team that is handling those phone calls, emails, chats, and social media content moderation for them. Another example will be law firms. We work with a number of law firms from different case types, whether it's MVA or mass torts. We are the team that handles their phone calls and qualify the potential new claimants to see if they can be represented by the attorney. We even go all the way up to signing a retainer document in order for them to be transferred over to the law firm. So those are just two quick examples, and like that, there are more, but if I can summarize it, performance is the reason why we acquire and keep our clients, and many of them we've been working for over 2 years. Within the first 90 days, what we essentially help them with, it's either to increase their sales conversion by 10% or their overall sales revenue by 20%. Or if we're just going to be doing customer retention and customer care, we can help them retain over 50% of their cancellations request with an 85% CSAT score. Now, I'm being very brief because I understand that there's a time limitation to this. But the reason why we're able to accomplish all of this for our clients is because we combined not only talented bilingual people, but we leverage a lot of AI technology that is custom developed internally by our team. And all of those solutions combined, whether it's conversational AI via phone call or outbound dialing to thousands and thousands of customers with an automated system, or whether it's evaluating our own interactions to provide actionable information for our clients. All of that is done internally with our technology, which saves clients not only thousands of dollars by not having to procure themselves technology systems to do that, but also we are the ones manage it for them. So it's all inclusive essentially. And I'll stop there before I continue talking because I think that I said a lot already.
Okay, no, that's great. I'll open up the floor for questions. There's a couple people that know your industry really well. One is Gary Moulton. Gary, I don't know whether you can talk or not. I'm sorry to surprise you, but you know a little bit about contact centers, don't you?
I sure do. And Juan and I have actually already met and had a great conversation. He's got a good operation down there. So I haven't had a chance to visit it or anything like that. But yeah, we had a good conversation.
Very cool. What do you do in your daytime? How do you fill your hours?
Yeah, so I work for a company called Schooley Mitchell. We're the largest cost reduction company in North America. So I help companies find hidden revenue in their business expenses, and obviously they can redirect that to more profitable and more productive initiatives. What's a little unique about what we do that I think is worth mentioning is we will do all the upfront work at no cost to the client. So we actually will do all the analysis and the auditing and the negotiations and everything it takes to get those prices figured out using our national benchmarking data and some proprietary tools that we use. And then we present that to the client. And if the client chooses to implement those our saving strategies, then we're compensated through a portion of the savings that we generate. So we're literally a no cost type consulting firm, which is a little unique in what we offer.
Fantastic. I've known Gary for over 10 years, and I think we met originally when he was leading operations for a contact center, a call center. So thank you, Gary, for
thank you, Doug.
Your professionalism and leadership. There's another person I wanted to call on, and that's Eduardo Gonzalez. He knows a little bit about Mexico. He had worked for the Mexican government, including at ProMexico. He's our Global Chamber board chair for the Phoenix chapter, and he knows everybody on both sides of the border. So if you ever are interested in connections in Mexico, in the U.S. for manufacturer that would have an eye toward Mexico, Eduardo is the guy. 258 Consulting. Eduardo, any comments? Have you already met Juan as well?
No, I haven't, but looking forward to meeting him. And yeah, it's great meeting everyone. Yes, like Doug mentioned, I help companies on both sides of the border with their business development, but also a great focus on manufacturing. So I help companies locate contract manufacturing options on the Mexican side. So we're reliving our COVID era again when the disruption in the supply chain happened back then. It seems like it's happening again, but for another reason. So a lot of people are looking into Mexico again as an option. So yeah, happy to help. Thank you, Doug. I'll put my information in the chat.
Is Mexico still a friend of the U.S. these days?
Oh yeah, a very good friend, of course. We don't have another option.
Well said. And I guess with the lower tariffs, it's better.
Yes.
So thank you very much, Juan. Any closing comment that you'd like to make?
No, not for now. I appreciate everybody's making the time today, and hopefully we'll connect. I dropped my LinkedIn profile here in the chat, and looking forward to continue the conversation individually. Thank you.
Super. Cesar Trabanco, who you hopefully all know, leads our connection center out of Ponce, Puerto Rico. Cesar, This is a little bit, it's late in the day for you. Do you have just a moment to either correct anything that I got wrong, or identify someone that I should have called on, or anything else that you'd like to share, maybe about part 2 as well?
Thanks, Doug. No, nothing wrong. I can identify. I was just wondering if Dimitri joined at some point. I think I thought hearing you saying his name, but I didn't see him, right?
I did not see him, no.
Okay. Okay. So hopefully we can have him for next time. And then yes, tomorrow we'll have part 2, and I think it's about 4 or 5 members as well. From South Africa, another one from Mexico, and a couple others. So if depending on your time zone, if you're able to join us, please do. As part of the process, I've been making some introductions, making sure some of you connect and take it further, and making notes that with the team, with Doug and the team, we evaluate and think of other connections for you as well. Then I wanted to take the opportunity to invite anyone interested in Puerto Rico. I personally gonna host an event next week on Wednesday about opportunities in the islands. I put together a really good panel, including the people from Invest Puerto Rico, and so I'm gonna be co-moderating with a member in Brussels, because I'm a little bit biased when it comes to Puerto Rico. So it seems to be a good one, and definitely feel free to check our calendar. And thank you, Jen, for posting the event there. And if you can put the link to the general calendar, it's always grateful, so you can go and review. And well, especially thank you, Marcos, Samuel, Juan, and Anthony for joining us today, and following my guidelines, and saying yes since day one. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any final comments? Anything that was left out? Anything that occurs to anyone that we forgot? And hearing none, it's just about 5 o'clock here on the West Coast. It's pretty late on the East Coast, and it's very late almost everywhere else, or early. Thank you all for joining today. See you in, let's see, 5 o'clock, 15 hours is part 2. And then tomorrow we also have a Global Chamber Phoenix meetup. We have a Global Chamber Texas meetup with a focus in on several of the bigger cities. And next week we have a real busy week planned the next couple weeks. So have a great day, evening, afternoon, whatever is appropriate for you. Really thank you for taking the time today. Have a good one.
Likewise.
Thanks.
Thank you,
very
everybody.
much.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone, and happy
Bye.
Easter for the celebrating.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, happy Easter. Good Friday tomorrow. Yep.
Take care.
Western Easter and Orthodox Easter come together. Thanks, everybody.